Essentially, we've been meeting with our architects for a little while now, for like 3 weeks, regarding the designs on this project. Everything's going well. We're going phase by phase with them, but we wanted to kind of design it ourselves and render it out so it's much easier to talk to the architects and point stuff out. They're more focused on the technical stuff right now. We're more focused on what is it gonna look like eventually, because we got to figure out, how if everything works out. But basically, this is what we were able to come up with. This is kind of like the first floor. You're facing the units. You got 3 units here, and they're essentially, one is deeper, than the other. So we have one really big unit. This is going to be the medium-sized unit, and this middle one is technically going to be the smallest unit because it's not as wide. But this is a replica to the dimension, and using a software that allows us to kind of, demonstrate that. Now this is just the first floor of it. Like if we zoom out a little bit, you'll see now that's the front of the house over there. This would be the 3 independent backyards, which will each have independent private pools. This one, it won't be a pool. It's mainly gonna be more like a 6x6 jacuzzi. So it's gonna be a smaller area that we gotta accommodate, but it's still gonna feel very entertainment vibe. And then this one on the corner units are essentially gonna be the nicer, bigger ones. But this would lead into the backyard with the garages and the driveways and the hedges and everything like that. But now that you see this, I'm gonna put it together with all 3 floors. Well, if you want, I can show you the second floor first. This would be the building with the second floor on top of it. So that unit overhangs about 3 feet from the back. And then we also have a bonus room above the garage that overhangs like 5 foot from the back. So you have 2 separate awnings there. We might even do water features leading from here into the pool. So we got a lot of unique, ideas and features for it. But you can kind of see it all coming together there. And then now if we go and add the 3rd floor, you really see it together. So now with the 3rd floor, you're gonna see that pretty much the 3rd floor is almost a master suite. It's pretty much just the master, the bathroom, the closet, maybe giving them an office. But all the residential rooms will be on the 2nd floor. And then all the community, like the common areas will be on the 1st floor. But basically, the 3rd floor, they have nice wraparound balconies on both units, corner units, and then the one in the middle has a balcony as well. As you can see, we're trying to go for that wood paneling underneath, which I'll show you the concept model first. But you'd be kind of overlooking everything. And then this only goes up 3 floors, but we're gonna have an additional 4th floor, which is gonna be the rooftop. This is essentially where, there's an elevator pad that goes up there, and you're able to put artificial turf, put some furniture out there, kind of overlook the city. You're 36 feet up in the air. I've worked on houses that have had elevators before, but this is the first one that we're installing from scratch. Not just one, but 3 of them, because these will each have independent private elevators. They're gonna be nice residential units. I can kind of show you here the idea of the mock-up of what we have for it. Okay. So, I was gonna show them the sketch for the elevators. Essentially the finish, this is the manufacturer we're getting our elevators from. And we're going for the symmetry asterisk model. So as you guys can see here, it'll have inlay LED lights throughout the inside of your elevator. And then it's nice and wrapped around some nice high quality metals, as well as we're putting like a black accordion door right before you get into your nice flush panel. Maybe even make it a hidden Murphy door. So these are the 4 different finishes we get to choose from. Maple, walnut, cherry, or white oak as far as like the finish. But these are gonna be some very high quality elevators. You won't typically see anything like this unless it's like a new construction and a luxury tower or stuff. Of course, those will be a little bit bigger because it's more community space, but these are residential spaces. They do fit, I believe it's 4-person or 3-person. I think it might be like 3-person elevator. It's good enough to have within your house. I mean, it's not like it'll be a high traffic area. But since they are 3 stories, 4th including the rooftop, you definitely want to give that access, for people to go up and down and not dread the stairs, because that's typically when you'll eliminate your buyer pool of let's just say elderly people or people that have any kind of handicap, just anything like that in general. And then based off of the front of the house, you guys saw we were doing like the wood accents above the ceilings and stuff. This is kind of like the conceptual rendering we're starting with. It's going to be a very like, you know, contemporary yet a little bit Venetian. You know, that dash of modern, but still trying to keep it traditional, even though we're trying to mix a lot of things in. But I think it's gonna, you know, come out beautiful, and we got a lot of, you know, unique ideas for it. As you guys can see, they're gonna be very spacious, ample units. You know, roughly, we might have one that's about 4,500 square feet, another one that's about 4,000, and maybe another one around 30-some hundred. So they're gonna be in variable sizes, but top prime area, they're gonna be 5 foot, 6 foot above flood zones. So this thing that happened with this last hurricane, Helene and Milton, that isn't something to be concerned about with a property like this. It's gonna be built up to the quality where it's not gonna be heavily impacted, and it has to be something very traumatic to even make a dent into it. But this is going to be a solid block build. It's going to have piling foundations. We were even considering doing hollow core slabs, which most residential or commercial builders won't do unless it's, you know, hotels or something like that, because of not necessarily the cost, but all the caveats that go with doing it. You know, we were potentially going that route. We might look at doing some steel beams as our, you know, floor framing.